Hey there. Here's a hot trick for your next bar mitzvah. Might get you some action, if you know what I'm saying. What you do is you grab a fork, any fork. If you want, you could carry these around in your pocket and look like you're on the registry. And you say, watch, look, here's an ordinary fork, but we actually need to apply a little bit of static energy. A little bit of static energy. You see that? If I rub it against my very hairy arm, we could actually take it. I don't know if you're aware of this, sir, but we could actually put a little bit of a bend in it, just using the power of our mind and static energy. You're going to learn how to do this and get some action at the next bar mitzvah. Metal bending. Metal bending is this weird thing. It's this weird genre where for some reason there's a group of people that think that this is a real thing. Spoon bending parties, metal bending parties. These are things that people have actually experienced in human history. For some reason, we think that somebody has the capacity of bending metal. We're retarded. We're retarded as a human race. And today, I'm going to show you how retarded you are if you ever believed in metal bending. The secret to metal bending is very simple. It's summarized in one sentence. You bend it when they're not looking. I know. Start writing your Magic Cafe forum post right now, buddy. I already hear the keyboards clacking. I hear the Facebook groups. I hear the Magic Cafe oldies, as they like to be called, just typing away saying, oh, hey, you showing this spoon bend, this metal bend is gonna ruin my set. It's gonna ruin my set at the tourism lodge, at the airport Denny's. You're gonna ruin my set because my set is entirely comprised of metal bending. Well, here's the thing, buddy. They know it's fake. They know you're bending it when you're not looking, okay? So you could stop pretending like you have some sort of superpower because you wear a suit at Denny's and you bend metal for people who are trying to get moons over my hammy, okay? You could stop, buddy. This is a simple bend. There's a lot of resources where you guys could learn how to bend metal. I suggest Psychokinetic Silverware by Banachek. That's the classic. There's stuff by Guy Bavley. There's also a lot of good stuff at looking at Uri Geller's videos. You could learn a lot as to how much you could get away with very little work. Another recourse is, I believe, Liquid Metal by Morgan Strebler. That's another fantastic one. He shows you how to end up doing the little time bends and stuff. Those are always interesting. So there's a lot of resources you guys could look up and purchase in terms of metal bending. This is just a simple one. I remember I was playing around with a fork and I said, hey, why don't you just bend it as you're doing something? Why don't you just, oh, maybe I'm cleaning it. Maybe I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with this, but independently, all right? So again, shut up. And if you want to learn more magic and stuff like that, you should check out the Pigcake Magic Academy. $5 a month gets you 2 videos every single week going over card stuff, coin stuff. You're automatically enrolled in the piggybacker tier of videos, which is $1 a month, which is 2 additional tutorials, which means you get 4. You get 4 a week for $5 a month. That's psychotic. There's over, I think, 700 videos already, including the piggybacker, including the Pigcake card, coin academy. There's everything there the moment you sign up. Check it out. That's all I'm saying. So it's a very simple bend. All you're going to do is you're going to take advantage of focus and relaxation. This right now is a focus. This right here is relaxation. So when I'm in focus, I'm putting attention on the fork. Then when I'm looking at you, there's a relaxation. The focus is on you. There's no longer a focus on the fork. Now here's the problem. Most people do this and they make it look unnatural. They say, oh, here's an ordinary fork. Usually I pick up these forks by the bulk in CVS pharmacy, but we're gonna be doing something magical with this fork. Do you come here often? Huh? Do you come here to Denny's often? What's your favorite menu item? Great, perfect. Look, I'm gonna try to bend this. You ready? And it looks obvious as to what you're doing. So here it's a very simple bend. All I'm doing is I'm gonna hold the fork like this. The fulcrum point is gonna be my little meaty section underneath my pinky. You see that? That's gonna be the fulcrum point. And the larger motion of me bringing it up to rub it against my very hairy arm is gonna be the cover for me to actually put the work in. The work in being the bend. Now these forks, as I mentioned earlier, I get them in bulk from CVS Pharmacy. They're $1. They come with a little red band over it that says $1. You could get four, I think 4 or 5 for $1, and they bend very easily. You don't need to put a lot of effort to bend them. But you want a fork that has a little bit of resistance, so when the spectators look at it, they don't bend it themselves. Because the worst thing that you could have is if you hand the spectator the fork and you say, hey, make sure it's a normal fork. Make sure that it's something that I didn't buy in a magic shop. And they go, okay. Then you look like, I don't know, Tom Sawyer. So you want to make sure that you get a fork that has a little bit of a hard give. Practice a little bit, and you could still bend it. So make sure you get one in the middle. You don't want to get one that's too easy to bend. You want to get one that's, as a matter of fact, Denny's has terrible forks. Now that I think about it, so you don't want to borrow Denny's forks because for some reason Denny's forks are made out of women's will to deny me. So you can't really bend those. So you want one in the middle. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab it like that. The butt or the little bit of the tines is gonna be against the fleshy part of your pinky. And as you come in to rub it, all I'm doing is I'm using my thumb to just put a bend, a downward bend right there. It doesn't require a lot of effort. You see that? That's not a lot of effort. But it was enough to actually bend the fork quite substantially. So that's all I'm doing. As I come in, I'm just gonna use my thumb to press against that fork and rub it. Now when I come up, I'm hiding this right here. You see that? I'm hiding that. So it really doesn't take a lot of effort to just use my finger and go boop right there. And it looks like a nice little bit of a bend. You could then show the fact that there's a nice bend there, and you could go on your merry brickle way. And it's a fun little bit of a bend. You could present the bend in a lot of different ways. After you do the little movement, you could come up and maybe I don't know, do one of these, right? Do one of those. So it's gonna be up to you to figure out what's your best bending technique. But after you bend the fork, you could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. You could do one of these right here. You could do one of these. Coochie, coochie, coochie. After you bend it with your misdirection, you can do whatever it is that you want to actually show the bend. But keep in mind, they're two separate things. For some reason, magicians tend to think, oh, look, I'm gonna bend it and then immediately show it to be bent. No, you're gonna have to separate the moment you actually bend it. So in this case, after I do this, there's gonna be quite a little bit of time until I actually do the actual bend. This is when the bend should be taking place in the minds of the spectator, not here. If the bend is taking place in the minds of the spectator at this moment, then you kind of ruined the gig there, buddy. So you're gonna make sure that your timing is also correct when it comes to your little bit of a metal bend here. But it's an interesting bend. It's an interesting bend, and it's one you could definitely take advantage of. You could actually bend it quite substantially. If you actually put your pinky on the bottom of it like this, and you come up and as you bend it, you rub your arm, you could bend it almost in half. Let me see if I could show you this right here. See that? Look at that. Oh, look, I'm rubbing it here. Look at that. It's almost bent in half. So you could practice a lot with this particular bend and get away with it. But that's it. That's the bend. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a fun one. All right, make sure to play around with the forks. If you go to a restaurant, make sure that you're aware of the actual strength and rigidity of their silverware before you try to bend it. And be prepared to pay for it. Be prepared to pay for it if the waiter or waitress sees you bending their silverware. But it's very important that you test it out beforehand, because you don't want to end up going to Denny's and then going, oh, look, I'm just going to do some static energy here. And then what ends up happening is that your pinky ends up like dangling because it's broken, because the fork was made with the will of a thousand fathers that abandon you. So it's a fun one. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to do all the things that people do. And as always, make sure to fork yourself. Fork yourself. Nobody's ever bent a spoon like in half. That'd be cool, right? Or a fork. Instead of bending it like this, you bend it on this plane right here. You know what I'm talking about? That'd be kind of cool. You borrow it. Hey, dude, have you ever seen those people that could bend it? Well, watch this. You bend it with your fingertips in half. That'd be kind of dope. Illusionist, maybe. Think about it. Uh, Murphy's, maybe. I don't know.